Hello everybody. Well, I'm going to start off with the first song of the album, Choke. It's a funny story this actually. We went down to Benidorm to my parents' house to record some ideas, and the idea that I had for Choke was actually, it was more like AC/DC mixed with Seven Nation Army by Jack White. Sounds like this. So that was the original idea. As you can see, the lyrics of the chorus, I'm gonna shout it out, I'm gonna let you know, was already there. But when we went down to Benidorm, we said we got to change this, we got to make it a bit more heavier, it's too classic. It reminds me a lot of Seven Nation Army. So I think it was David, he came up with like a riff, he wanted to bring it down so it'd be slower. That would be the riff. So we went into the garage, we recorded it, and whilst David and Pablo were doing the magic, I went upstairs and I did the lyrics, and we did it actually quite quickly. So anyway, we went down, we recorded it, we were thinking, this is fucking brilliant, this is good. Anyway, so we went out to drink wine again at night, and Pablo sent it via WhatsApp to Andres, our other producer, who wasn't there. And he got it wrong, and he sent it in 1.5 speed, that you can change the speed on WhatsApp. So it was suddenly really fast, and we said, bloody hell, this is good, this could be a remix. And we said, it could be actually the original song. So we didn't speed it up as much as on the WhatsApp version, at least around 50 BPMs faster, and that's why Choke is Choke. Hello everybody, it's me again. Okay, well today it's the turn of the second song of the album, that's called Wings. This one is actually a spin-off of the third song of the album, that's called Breakdown. It's actually the beginning of the story. Whilst producing Breakdown, we thought that we needed a different melody in the middle bit. So me and Andres got together, and we went to his house and we started to write like different melodies, and just to see what fitted in. And we found this melody that we really liked. But then when I sang it over Breakdown, it didn't really work. So I started to write over that melody and seeing what happened with that part of the song, because I thought it was really good. And during this process, one of our team members got a phone call saying that somebody of his, not family, but a friend of his family committed suicide. So that was very sad, and I thought that I'd get inspiration from that horrible story and write something about it. From the perspective of the person who's been left behind, let's say. From the person who hasn't gone from this world, who stays in this world and has got to cope with having a family or just the day-by-day normal activities. So that's why the main phrase of the song is, my days end with sad nights, fires creeping on dynamite. Because at the end of the story, that we'll get to a Breakdown, this person explodes basically. He can't cope with the pressure. And it's a sad story, but I think it's good to be reminded about reality and what can happen. So that's Wings. Hello everybody, it's day 3 and it's time to speak about the third song of the album called Breakdown. Like I said in the other video, Breakdown is the second part of a story, being Wings the first part and Breakdown the second. It's funny though, because Breakdown was the first song that I wrote out of those two. And it all started because I went to a friend's house and he said to me, Dan, have you heard the latest album of Post Malone, the one that Ozzy Osbourne is in and that? I said, no, I haven't heard it. Anyway, I got back home and I put it on and I fucking loved it. I really loved it. I thought, what a great album. And the melodies in the album and the way that it's a modern concept of music, like the hi-hat and just the general feeling, vibe, but with such strong melodies. And I said, I've got to experiment and I want to produce something or just write something with that vibe. So I got home and I went into arcade, got a little loop. I put some hi-hats in, these modern hi-hats, you know, they're impossible to play live because of the subdivision. This is how the song sounded at the beginning.
Downtown, looking for the guy who sells the trees not found. Walking to the first bank.
You can hear as well how the bridge was. Break down.
Break down, break down, break down, break down, break down.
But we brought in the other melody. How do you think those wings will take you? About the lyrics, about the story. When I was younger, I got to know some people that ended up having some issues with drugs. And they never took it as far, but I got inspired by just remembering those conversations that I had with these people. And I just started to think, what would have happened if they had continued down that path? And obviously in this story, it starts out about somebody going to a bar and drinking. He's looking for drugs, you know, and then at the end, to the back of the bar that he goes to see the shadows he knows, the dealers, and then at the end of the story, to the back of the car that he goes in a suit and tie for the show. So that would be, you know, when you're in a coffin in the back of a car, and it would be the end of the story. And when we got that phone call about the suicide, I thought that could be the beginning of the story, why this person ended up doing these drugs and going down that path. So there you go. Hello again, time for song number 4, Doctor, the third single of this album. It's actually an interesting story, this, because this song was never intended to be on the album. I'm not sure if I actually showed it to the guys. So when we were listening to the album, when it was nearly all finished, we had 8 songs or 9 songs. Choke had already come out, and then halfway there, so we needed another rock song, and we didn't really have it. So I showed the songs to our manager, and he really pushed. He said, I think you need another rock song for the third single. We need something that will get attention again, because Choke had done really well on radio. It was the first time that any of my songs had been played, not only once, but actually constantly on a radio station, and Radio 3. Thank you. So we wanted to go again for that target. So I had this idea. Here it is, I'll show it to you. As you can see, the second part of the song was completely different. So I said to the guys, okay, look, let's do it. I'm gonna listen to our manager, that's why I've got one. Let's go for it. This is the idea. Let's build something in 3 or 4 days and release it. I want a rock song, and I want people not to think of me only as a singer-songwriter with my acoustic guitar. So I said, let's go to the rehearsal room and let's do a video just rocking away with the band and really going for it. And we got on schedule, we did it, and it was the third single. So yeah, that's the story behind Doctor. It wasn't even gonna be in the album. And look, hello everybody, it's time for song number 5. It's called Halfway There, like the name of the album. This song, basically, I just spat it out. It came out naturally. I sat down and wrote it from top to the bottom in, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, maybe not even that. I was actually really happy because that's why the song came out. It was the first time that I had a publishing deal, that I had a manager, that I had a PR, that I had an A&R. I had a whole team around me, and I felt like I was halfway there. I was getting to somewhere. I am getting somewhere. Even though it sounds sad, the message is quite clear. Don't worry, everything's okay. I'm getting where I want to go. It's true that Pablo, one of the producers, is great at doing different guitars. The guitar that's on the album, that it's actually in a different tuning. It's E, A, F, D, A, D, starting from the bottom. And he just came up with this, it's not a riff, but this lick that was different to what I did, and the song just worked. One of the things that I like a lot about this song is the video. It was recorded in one take, so there's actually a video on YouTube showing how we did it. There's a making of video. I'll show you a bit now. Yeah, so you can see what we're doing is, once I'm moving around the house, I've got a team of people changing everything that's happening around me. So when I go into the kitchen and I go back into the living room's different. And that was all done live. So yeah, Halfway There is a song that means a lot to me. And I'm really happy that we did it, that it came out as a second single, and that we got this fantastic video. So that's a bit the innards of Halfway There. Hello everybody, it's time for song number 6 of the album, and it's called Devil. This was actually the first single that I released a year ago or something like that, because the album was supposed to come out earlier, but it didn't. I love the series Peaky Blinders. Not sure if you've seen it. And in the first season, when Thomas Shelby is with his not wife yet, but going to be wife, Grace, and they're having a drink in the bar, and he says, let's have a toast. And she says, may you have half an hour in heaven before the devil knows you're there. And I thought, that is a good phrase. So I wrote the lyrics, and I wrote the song all about that phrase, really. Let me be in heaven for half an hour before you know that I'm there. Like, give me a break before spending the rest of eternity in shit, basically. It was a quick song to write, actually. I remember I just sat down and it came out. I was living in David's house for a couple of months because my flat had... Anyway, long story cut short, I was not living in my flat, and I remember we just started to record it, and I recorded some vocals there, and they're actually the ones that stayed, just with a normal mic and in his house. And we went to the studio and we recorded all the trumpets. We did do that. It's like a death march. Da 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 da. So it's like everybody, you can imagine people walking into hell, you know, like saying, this is the rest of my life now. So if you're a fan of Peaky Blinder, I think you'll like this song. So yeah, that's Devil, number 6 in the album. Hello everybody, it's time for song number 7. That's actually called Hello. This song was the first one that I wrote for this album. It was actually written about 4 years ago. There's a video of me playing it in New York when I did a little tour in the States. Here's the video. Writing down wishful thoughts, crossing out the repeated ones, realizing what you've written makes no sense at all. Crumbling down. So as you can see, the arrangement is completely different. In the solo version that I've got when I play the guitar, my right hand does something completely different. So when we were down in Benidorm, we decided to change it. And Pablo came up with this different guitar. It's a different harmony too. We changed a couple of the chords. It's one of the songs that I wrote a long time ago, and it made the cut for the album. So the song that we normally start off all the gigs with, hello, hello, and yes. Hello, time for song number 8 of the album, Begging for You. It's about a young boy who's quite shy, a bit geeky, and he falls in love with a girl. And he doesn't think that he'll ever be able to actually say to her that he loves her. But when he does, she tells him that she loves him back. So yeah, it's quite a lovey-dovey story. This song, it all started when we went down to Alicante. We went to a studio where Kevin Atkinson is the engineer there. And we went to record What Have You Done, a song that I co-wrote with Marina Moon. I'm not sure you listened to it. Here's a little snippet.
Hello, what have you done to me? I'm tired of your stupid hypocrisy. Whoa, oh, oh, oh.
Anyway, whilst we were there, the engineer sometimes, had to take some time for himself to do some stuff like put mics and all that, what engineers do. And I picked up a guitar and I just started to strum. I got an idea. And because we were recording the video with Marina Moon in the studio, I've actually got footage of that precise moment. And you can see me saying to David, hey, can you record this? Because I forgot that Loro, the guy who actually had the proper camera, was recording. So anyway, this is the footage.
Se va a quedar aquí si quieres.
Con tu móvil, digo, David.
Ya está, dale.
Anyway, getting back on track. I love the idea. I thought, this is good. So I go back home and I started to produce it. And I wanted it to sound a bit different to all my other songs. So if you notice, in this song, it's the one with the most auto-tune, especially at the beginning. Obviously, I know the album is a bit of Melodyne, but we actually used it as an effect this time. Then when we got to the chorus, I wanted a big chorus with guitars, so we got like Javi Giralde, who's a brilliant guitarist, some more metal style guitars. We did a lot of riffing, and yeah, that's what happened to Begging for You. From just a little snippet in a studio, it became an actual song and the focus track of the album. Time for song number 9, Who the Hell I Am. So since I signed to BMG, happy about that, I go onto this web page where I see artists who are looking for different songs. It can be national, international artists. And one day I went on and I saw that Dua Lipa was looking for like a ballad. I thought that's interesting because I never really heard a ballad of Dua Lipa. And it said, exact words, it said, she wanted extremely honest lyrics and that I shouldn't get caught up in style over substance. She wants something authentic. So I thought, okay, she doesn't want a typical ballad. She wants something different. So I thought, okay, let's get into her mind a bit. I thought she looked really secure. Most major artists obviously do. You've got to be secure, I suppose, being where they are. But I'm sure that as well, there's days where they're insecure and they've got problems like any other human being. And I came up with the phrase, everybody says they know me, but I don't know who the hell I am. And I came up with that, and I was thinking, you know, she must think sometimes that everybody thinks that they know who she is. Dua Lipa, Dua Lipa. This charismatic, sexy, good-looking, intelligent, great singer. But she must feel some days down and low. So I got to think about that, and I said, well, you know, Dan, you as well have got your ups and your downs, and you as well get criticism, or you get people saying to you, no, this is what you should do, or everybody gets people telling them what they should do, you know? And I thought, well, that phrase is good for me, and it was me who wrote it. I said, okay, well, forget about Dua Lipa, do a song about yourself. And that's what I did. So this song started off for Dua Lipa. She doesn't know, BMG doesn't know either. I've never sent it to him. I sent it to him as my own song. But I thought it was something quite fun. To start to write for somebody else, but actually, it's you who you're writing about. So I kept the song, Who the Hell I Am. We've arrived to the last song of the album, Silver Spoon. I consider it a bonus track, really. And that was the idea that we had, me and the guys, the producers. But nowadays, really a bonus track doesn't make sense. Because I remember I used to find like hidden tracks in albums and that, but on Spotify you can see it, so. Anyway. This song I wrote a long time ago was actually going to be a single that never got released. I chose Get Out of This, another song that I did before this one at the end. It's actually got a lyric video which will come out, and it really takes you into what the song means. It's a toxic love story. We've all been in one. In this story, the couple struggles when they're together, and when they're apart it's easy, and that should never happen in a relationship. They loved each other, but not in the right way. So that Silver Spoon, quite a depressing song for the end of the album. I hope you've liked these videos explaining a bit all the songs and getting to know a bit the innards. It's been good for me, actually, explaining it to you guys as well, because when you're writing a song, you're really obsessed or you're in the story, but then when you see it from another perspective, things change completely. And it's good to remember all these little fun facts of production and the innards, because I won't remember this in 20 years, and I'm here explaining it to myself. It's really for me. Anyway guys, see you soon. I hope you've enjoyed it. Welcome to Halfway There, the album.
So when we was true.